So, Sega just kicked off a brand new campaign for this year called Race Around the World. And to my enjoyment, they don't seem to be holding back. Between a sponsorship with Red Bull, a real-life Sonic-themed race car, and a nostalgic throwback to the days when Sega was plastering their logo on Formula One teams, this campaign is loud, flashy, but also pretty unexpected. Because here's the thing. Yeah, Sonic is all about speed, but Sonic racing games? They've never exactly been Sega's crown jewel. Fun? Sure. An instant moneymaker? Not so much. So to build a whole global campaign around them? That's a pretty big jump, especially after the guaranteed hype of last year's Shadow-focused campaign. And not to mention, there's also the timing. With a new Mario Kart right around the corner, coinciding with Nintendo's Switch 2, it's hard not to raise an eyebrow at Sega's sudden racing obsession. So without further ado, here's everything we know so far about the Race Around the World campaign, and why it could be a little less coincidental than it seems. Let's get into it. So first things first, what are these campaigns? If you've played games like Call of Duty, you might already be a little familiar with the idea. But basically, it's a year-long theme that a company builds a lot of its content around. You have games, marketing, web series, it all follows that central idea. Anyway, back in 2023, it was the campaign Fast Friends Forever. So everything was about friends and nostalgia, coming out with games like Sonic Superstars, Sonic Dream Team, and The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. On top of that, we got Season 2 of Sonic Prime, as well as 2 different webtoons called Tales Tube and Sonic and Friends. Then, this past year in 2024, we got plenty of Shadow the Hedgehog with the campaign Fearless Year of Shadow. Between the Shadow Generations game, a special Shadow Twitter takeover, or X takeover now, I suppose, and of course, his big screen appearance in the Sonic 3 movie. And now we are in 2025 with Race Around the World, this year's theme leaning all the way into speed, fun, and racing. So far, it kicked off with Sonic Rumble, an online PC and mobile game, which I talk about more in this video here if you're curious about it. Then, the mobile game Sonic Forces Speed Battle, which actually came out way back in 2017 to promote the Sonic Forces game. However, it's been getting some new additions recently, so it's worth it to mention. We've also got another YouTube short series called The Chow Tales. It follows Sonic and an adorably spunky Shadow Chow as they explore the chaos inside the Chow Garden this year. And of course, headlining this entire campaign is Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, an all-new Sonic racing game where you can race across land, water, air, time, and even different worlds using travel rings, which might be a movie reference, or might be a callback to how 3D Sonic games sometimes use rings as portals at the end of levels. Either way though, it looks ridiculously cool. And of course, I can't forget to mention the huge list of Sega characters you'll be able to play as. Not to mention, it seems we're finally getting complete control over customizing your vehicle. Now, maybe this existed in past Sonic Racers and I just missed it, so feel free to correct me in the comments. But in the games I have played, you just got stuck with the one vehicle that came with the character. Something that I found disappointing compared to Mario Kart. So to have customability is actually very exciting for me. But even that isn't it for this campaign, as Sega has gone even further by doing some real-world team-ups. Like for one, Red Bull, which makes sense in a weird way. Sonic, energy drinks, yeah, plenty of hyper-marketing energy to work with in that. But the way they teamed up makes it all the more impressive, since we didn't just get a Sonic-themed energy drink, which could be cool actually, but no. We got Brandon Semenuk, a Subaru Motorsports USA racer, and one of Red Bull's most globally renowned high-speed stunt drivers to shoot a full-blown stunt video featuring a Sonic-themed rally car, as well as Sonic and Friends. And hold up, speaking about cars, this car isn't just for creative purposes either. It's a full-on tribute to the 1990s when Sega was actually sponsoring real Formula One teams like Williams. Back then, you'd see the Sega logo on both the racing circuit and the cars themselves. It stinks that the Williams didn't win the Grand Prix in the 1993 race, but it did win the Constructors' Championship and got second in the Grand Prix itself. Anyway, with a reference that significant in this new stunt video, Sega seems really confident about this campaign. Which leads me to ask why. Like I said, Sonic racing games aren't exactly the backbone of the Sonic brand. They aren't even some underdog wonder like Shadow the Hedgehog is. I mean, that was the thing to blow major money on if Sega wanted to. Which, in a way, they did, thus Sonic Movie number 3. And also, I'm sure there were some other events that happened too last campaign. But come on, a stunt video with one of the best stunt drivers out there? A Red Bull partnership? Even the reference they made is referencing back to when Sega was at peak popularity back in the day. It makes me think Sega either is really confident in this year's campaign, or they're trying to make themselves even more noticeable than they already are. Which honestly kind of makes sense. Sega launched a race-themed campaign the same year Sega is dropping a brand new Mario Kart alongside the Switch 2. That's a tough act to go up against. But was it intentional? I mean, as much as I would love to say Sega's trying to outshine Nintendo, they're also releasing CrossWorlds on the Switch, and consequently Switch 2 as well because of the whole backwards compatibility thing. So it wouldn't exactly make sense for them to try and overshadow a company they're actively working with. Still, I can't help but side-eye the timing here. Maybe it's just a coincidence, or maybe there's a little bit more strategy to it than it seems. I guess only time will tell. Anyway, what do you think about all this? Are you excited for this year's Sonic campaign? And what about the possible competition of the two new racing games from both Nintendo and Sega? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye!